Hi there, my name is Sarah Chesson and I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager here at the University of Fredericton. Today we're going to be talking about resiliency and the new Enhancing Workplace Resiliency program available fully online at UFred. We're joined today by Dr. Jody Sama. Dr. Sama is the program lead at the UFred Center for Psychological Health Sciences and has a plethora of experience in the field of psychological health and safety, including experience on the technical committee that drafted the national standard for psychological health and safety in the workplace. She is a regular media commentator on issues related to mental health and psychology and was the lead on each of the psych health programs at UFred. Welcome, Jody.
Good morning.
So I just want to ask you a few questions here. So the first is, I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about how resiliency became an area of interest for you.
Well, as a clinical psychologist, I'm of course immensely interested in human behavior and the things that impact our behavior, our emotions, the things that we feel. And what I was struck with very early in my career was how amazingly resilient we are as human beings. And this came from, years of kind of education and then clinical work of seeing the kinds of really kind of difficult and in some cases traumatic experiences that we can experience, yet we have this ability as humans to want to thrive even in spite of terrible, traumatic, stressful events. And that really made me want to learn more about the factors that help us be more resilient in the face of pressures and demands on us.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about how resiliency and our ability to be resilient then impacts us, particularly in the workplace.
Well, the ability to be resilient, first we need to kind of understand what that means. And if we think about it as the idea of kind of buffering ourselves and getting ourselves in the optimal kind of physical, cognitive, and emotional state that makes it easier for us to deal with things as they come. And now I know that's very kind of abstract as I'm saying that, but, I encourage people to think about, what are the factors in your life that make the difference between how well you handle a good day or a bad day. And most people will say things like, when I get a good night's sleep, when I've been exercising or I'm feeling healthy, when important relationships in my life are going well, right? And those are kind of some of the factors that can improve our resiliency. And many of them relate to very good self-care behaviors. So self-care in terms of how we take care of our body, what we put into our body, and who we keep around us. Now, those things may seemingly seem irrelevant to work function, but when we think about that ability to kind of go with the flow or not be terribly, impacted or thrown by stressors that come to us, it usually comes along with having good balance in other parts of our personal life. So as we can all relate, when we have demands that are happening personally, again, personal health, personal relationships, personal home life, that absolutely impacts our function in the workplace. And so we know if we can pay good attention to self-care behaviors, get ourselves into kind of optimal physical and emotional shape, it makes it easier for us to deal with the challenges that all of us are faced with in today's modern day workplace, where we have multiple demands. We're never caught up in all of the work that we need to do. We have technology, so potentially are 24/7 connected. And it's really all about, or a big part of it to me is about balance.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. I mean, I think that's relevant to just about everyone now. So the University of Fredericton is launching this course in partnership with yourself and Dr. Rakesh Jetley as well. So the new course, Enhancing Workplace Resiliency, I'm wondering, how is this resiliency course different from some of the other psychological health and safety courses that are offered at UFred?
Great question. So we have 3 streams of training now through the UFred courses. The first certificate that had been launched was the Psychological Health and Safety Certificate, and that's really around building and creating a psychologically healthy, safe work environment. So that's often targeted toward decision makers within an organization who may be implementing strategies to make the entire workplace psychologically healthy. There's then one stream that's very specifically targeted toward managers and leaders. So equipping them with the skills that we know they need and require to be able to effectively manage employees that are struggling in some kind of way, either with stress-related issues or a diagnosable mental health condition. Now, this third stream with the resiliency course really is focused toward the individual employee or worker. So it's a really nice complement to the other programming that we already have. So the skills in this course are very targeted toward an individual and giving an individual, irrespective of their position or standing within an organization, what I really see is good life skills. So good life skills to understand the various factors that impact how we feel on any given day, and also a number of very practical, easily implementable strategies that people can utilize to really kind of increase their level of psychological health and wellness personally.
That's great. Thanks, Jody. So the next question, I guess, then, is who do you think can benefit the most from this new resiliency program then?
Now I believe that every single person should, take a course like this or get training like this, and I mean that very sincerely because we really aren't taught these life skills in our, other kinds of domains of our life, and so really, truly, I mean, these are good life skills that anyone can benefit from, and I really encourage people, we're all going to vary in our level of kind of psychological mindedness and openness and understanding of the things that impact our emotions, and I also believe that all of us can really kind of benefit from honing in on and improving the skills that we already have. So really, this course is intended for any individual who's interested in further improving and tweaking their psychological health personally, and really is relevant for anyone at any kind of level of status within an organization as well.
Absolutely. That's great, Jody. So before we go here then, so what are some things that you think that we can all do to better cope with stress and be more resilient beginning today?
Well, one of the important areas to start is to pay attention to what I like to refer to as the usual suspects. So the things that go awry when we're under demands. So these are pretty universal. Number one is sleep. Number two is diet, and I'm going to throw alcohol and other substances in along with that. And then number three is exercise. So start to pay attention to your sleeping patterns. Most Canadians are not getting nearly as much sleep as they need. Technology and devices is the big culprit in terms of getting in the way of that, among other factors. And I really encourage people to set some goals. Make your sleep a priority. And guidelines tell us that on the minimum end, we should be aiming for about 6 hours up to 9. So most people fall in the 7 to 8 hour range. So get enough sleep. Be mindful of what you put in your mouth, so the food that you're eating and the substances that you're consuming, because when we're under stress, what we tend to do is get sloppy in those areas. We go for carb-heavy food, alcohol is the most common self-medication. People lean on alcohol a little too much. And so really just kind of we can control what we eat and when we eat. So make sure you eat regularly and are getting lots of fruits and veggies, right? So the things that our moms told us when we were little. And then third is exercise. So we know that exercise has so many intrinsic benefits. It releases feel-good hormones that have a natural antidepressant effect on us. So get mobile, right? Even if it's just 10 minutes, getting a break at work, stand up, move around, go outside. Those are kind of excellent starting points.
Well, that's excellent. Thanks so much, Jody. Thank you for joining us today. And for anyone interested, you can find more information about the Enhancing Workplace Resiliency Program on our website at www.ufred.ca.